Our special guest presenter, for those of you that haven't already heard, is a Seamus-winning author given out by the PI Writers of America. He's also an Anthony-winning writer, which is given at the World Mystery Conference, of two Chicago-based PI novels with a character called Ray Dudgeon. Those books are Big City, Bad Blood, and Trigger City. I would like to present to you, to give us an introduction to Maltese Falcon, Sean Chercover.
Thank you. Thanks, Jared. And thank you all for coming out. The Maltese Falcon is often considered the first film noir. And it certainly set the standard and established the visual aesthetics that the future noir directors emulated. But for me, the important thing is you'll never see a film that is more faithful to its source material, to its novel. It is said that this is John Huston's first film, and it is said that he was advised by Howard Hawks to just shoot the book, and that he asked his secretary to type up the book into screenplay format, and then he went on vacation. And while he was gone, Jack Warner, head of Warner Brothers, showed up at the office and sat at his desk and read the thing and basically greenlit the movie right there and said, make it. And Huston hadn't even read it yet. I don't know if that story's apocryphal, but it is true that you can sit with the book and watch the film, and there are long passages, and most of the dialogue is word for word out of the book. And Dashiell Hammett had worked as a private investigator for years before he started writing crime fiction. Jared and I talked earlier, some of you were here for that, about the ways in which these novels and films diverge from reality. But now I want to talk about some of the ways in which it actually emulates reality and ways in which Hammett got it exactly right. His granddaughter said that he brought the detective's code to this book and to Samuel Spade, and that code being, number one, keeping a wall between the detective and the world, keeping emotional detachment from your cases and from your clients. And if you fail to keep that detachment, it's guaranteed that it'll cost you, as it does cost Bogart in this movie. Keeping your own thoughts and value judgments to yourself and giving nothing away, letting no one inside your head. And the fascinating thing about this novel is that Hammett's first two novels, Red Harvest and The Dane Curse, were written in the first person. They were narrated by the investigator, and you can't keep the reader out of the head of the narrator. You have to see what's inside his head. But what he wanted to try with this was to try and write a novel where even the protagonist, you don't know what he's thinking. He never says what Sam Spade is thinking. He gives you cues through body language, through facial expressions, but you never know what he's thinking, and you never know what he's feeling, except how he expresses himself. And so this book was his first opportunity to test that aesthetic, and all you get is physical descriptions. And this, what was often called a camera eye objective style, was perfect for film. It was practically a film as it was written, as a novel. And Hammett was all about character first. The mystery was not as important as exploration of lust and greed and loyalty and deception. And he was interested in poking holes and pointing out the hypocrisy in the social structure of the day. And this movie revolves around greed and chasing an object of perceived value that may not turn out to be as valuable. And written in the 1920s during the Wall Street boom that would soon bust, it seems in some ways prophetic. Another reflection of reality is that everybody is lying all the time when you're a PI. Even your client is lying to you. Your client, who should be telling you the truth so that you can help, will be lying to you. Everybody is always lying, and it's sad, but it's usually true. And it's certainly reflected in the Maltese Falcon. Sometimes people are just trying to cast themselves in the better light. Sometimes not. Sometimes they have more nefarious motives. But even the detective is lying. The detective is playing a role. You'll see a scene where Sam Spade confronts Casper Gutman and throws a glass down and yells at him and storms out of the room. And as soon as he's walking down the hallway, he's smiling to himself. He didn't mean it. He was playing a role. And yet, when he presses the elevator button, he looks at his hand and it's shaking. He's got that adrenaline rush that came with playing that role. And these are ways in which the film is very reflective of reality. And in the world of a detective, information is the coin of the realm. Everything is about information. Information is power. If you have it, you have power. If you don't have it, you don't. And you never give it away without getting something of value in return. And you'll see that with the characters in this movie. The dialogue is extremely realistic. Even when people aren't directly lying, they're not saying what they really mean. And the subtext is there in their body language, in their facial expressions, which is directly out of the book and put onto the screen. The movie is important as the first noir, but it's also important as one of the best. It's one of the best detective films I've ever seen. And it, of course, made Bogart from, he'd only played a villain up to that point, it made him a leading man, and it set John Huston's career off on fire. Interestingly, the story resolves in conversation, not in gunfights. Again, information. Words have power. Information is power. And in a world where everyone is lying and agendas are hidden, the words are, in the end, what's going to save you, or, in the case of some characters in this film, what's going to send you up the river, as it were. I hope you enjoyed the film.